The Africa Investment Forum with the theme Unlocking Africa's Value Chain is underway in Marrakesh. This year, the forum focuses on climate-resilient infrastructure, strategic minerals, and digital disruptors to build sustainable, inclusive growth, and a whole lot more. Joining us now live to discuss further is Dr. Joseph Ribeiro. He's the Deputy Director General, West Africa Region. Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. So the first headline conversation was with a number of heads of state at today's opening event, leaders from Togo, Tanzania, Barbados, Sierra Leone, all speaking about accelerating Africa's transformation. What, sir, is the trigger for Africa's economic transformation?
Thank you for this opportunity. As you know, Africa Investment Forum is all about accelerating the transformation of Africa. And what has transpired from the discussions today is that we need to make more progress towards the high fives that the African Development Bank has been promoting about eliminating, empowering Africa, industrializing, integrating Africa, improving the quality of life of Africa, and feeding the people of Africa. Once that is done, the private sector, which is heavily present here in Morocco, can play its role and help to transform the continent better, of course, on the basis of an educated workforce and a healthy workforce. So this is a heavy agenda, but we do believe that all the head of states present, all the members of the international community, you know, it's not only the African Development Bank, who is one of the founding partners. We have other institutions, and all of them, with all of us, we can make the necessary progress to transform and accelerate, actually, the transformation of Africa.
Fantastic. Do you see any hurdles to getting to that transformation, any challenges that can be overcome?
Well, of course, there are many challenges. Otherwise, it would have been, let's say, quite done. One challenge is, of course, the mobility across the continent. This is why we have moved for the African Free Trade Zone, which is becoming a reality. Some countries are opening. We all know that, for example, Rwanda announced visa-free access to their country for all Africans. And Africa Development Bank, we are doing a lot of integrating projects, be it on road corridors, etc. So these are the hurdles that we need to do, I think, to face. And I think that the major one is about integrating the continent, because right now, Africa is one of the least integrated continents. Once we integrate it, I think between the different poles of development that we have on the continent, be it Nigeria, be it South Africa, be it here, Morocco, or other countries, these poles will be able to communicate with all the parts of the continent and to make available a bigger range of assets for productions, for intellectual sharing, and this will be a benefit to all the continent.
Fantastic. I know you have to get back to the ongoing forum, but I do have just one more question for you. I don't know if this is a tough question, but who do you think has a bigger role to play in Africa's transformation? The private sector or the public sector, or is it equal between the two?
Well, definitely, this is a tough question, but definitely we do believe that the private sector has the bigger role to play because, debt across the continent is a serious issue. So we cannot count on the public sector to foot the bill. But the role of the public sector is major because, the private sector has to act within a matrix of macroeconomic stability, a matrix where, the utilities are working, etc. So both roles are important, but at this point in time, given the international landscape on the access to finance, which is very tough, we think that the private sector should play a key role backed by the actions of our governments.
All right, we look forward to a whole lot more for this very interesting forum, very crucial forum. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Dr. Joseph Ribeiro, Deputy Director General, West Africa Region for the Africa Development Bank. Thank you so much.